Nelson Appleton, Miles August 8, 1839, May 15, 1925, was a prominent U.S. Army general whose career spanned the American Civil War, the Indian Wars, and the Spanish-American War. Known for his ambition, tactical skill, and controversial persona, Miles rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most notable military figures of his era. Below is a detailed account of his life, career, and personal history. Based on available historical records, Nelson Appleton Miles was born on August 8, 1839, on his family's farm near Westminster, Massachusetts, to Daniel Miles, a farmer, and lumber merchant, and Mary Curtis Miles, the youngest child in a Baptist family. He grew up working on the farm, fostering a love for outdoor activities and nature. He attended local schools and briefly studied at John R. Galt's Academy in Westminster. At 16, Miles moved to Boston, working as a clerk at John Collimore and Company's crockery store. Ambitious and self-driven, he attended Cummers Commercial College for night courses and studied military tactics under Colonel Eugene Lignac, a retired French officer, to prepare for a potential military career. Nelson Appleton Miles had a distinguished and extensive military career spanning over 4 decades, marked by significant contributions in the American Civil War, the Indian Wars, and the Spanish-American War. Below is a detailed overview of his military career, highlighting key phases and achievements. American Civil War, 1861 to 1865. Miles began his military career with the outbreak of the Civil War, enlisting on September 9, 1861. As a first lieutenant in the 22nd Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry, commanded by Henry Wilson, lacking formal military education, he leveraged self-study and ambition to rise rapidly through the ranks, early service, and promotion. Miles served on the staff of Brigadier General Oliver O. Howard and saw combat at the Battle of Seven Pines, May 31, 1862, where he was wounded. In May 1862, he was promoted to lieutenant colonel of the 61st New York Infantry. At the Battle of Antietam, September 1862, he assumed command after his superior was wounded and was soon promoted to colonel. Major battles Miles fought in key engagements, including Fredericksburg, December 1862, and Chancellorsville, May 1863, where he was severely wounded in the neck and abdomen while holding an advanced position against repeated Confederate assaults. His gallantry at Chancellorsville earned him the Medal of Honor in 1892. He also participated in the Wilderness, Spotsylvania Courthouse, and the Appomattox Campaign, receiving a total of 4 wounds during the war, post-war roll, 1,865, at age 26. Miles was a Major General of Volunteers, a remarkable ascent for a self-taught soldier. After the war, he served as Commandant of Fort Monroe, Virginia, overseeing the imprisonment of Confederate President Jefferson Davis. His decision to keep Davis in chains drew criticism, though Miles defended his actions. In 1866, he was appointed a colonel in the regular army, securing his place in the post-war military. Indian Wars, 1869 to 1890, transferred to the West in 1869. Miles commanded the 5th Infantry and became a prominent figure in the Indian Wars, earning the nickname the Idol of the Indian Fighters for his tactical skill and relentless campaigns against Native American tribes, Red River War, 1874-1875. Miles led campaigns against the Kiowa, Comanche, and Southern Cheyenne along the upper Red River of the South, defeating them and establishing peace on the South Plains by June 1875. Great Sioux War, 1876-1877. Following the Battle of the Little Bighorn, June 1876, where George Armstrong Custer's 7th Cavalry was defeated, Miles conducted a winter campaign in the Northern Plains. He pursued the Lakota Sioux under Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse, defeating Crazy Horse at the Battle of Wolf Mountain, January 1877, and accepting his surrender in May 1877, forcing most Lakota onto reservations. Nez Perce War 1877. Miles led a forced march across eastern Montana to intercept Chief Joseph's Nez Perce Band, which was fleeing toward Canada. After a 5-day battle, he forced Joseph's surrender on October 5, 1877, earning praise for his logistics, but clashing with General Oliver O. Howard over credit for the victory. Apache Campaign, 1886, replacing General George Crook, Miles pursued Geronimo's Apache band in Arizona, opting to use white troops instead of Apache scouts. He accepted Geronimo's surrender through Lieutenant Charles B. Gatewood, exiling the Apaches to Florida. Ghost Dance Uprising and Wounded Knee, 1890. As commander during the Lakota Ghost Dance movement, Miles aimed to restore peace. His troop movements, however, caused panic, contributing to the death of Sitting Bull and the Wounded Knee Massacre, where 150 Lakota were killed. Miles criticized the massacre as a blunder, relieved responsible officers, and later advocated for compensation for survivors. Miles' campaigns showcased his logistical prowess and determination, though his role in subduing Native American tribes remains controversial. He expressed respect for leaders like Sitting Bull, Chief Joseph, and Geronimo, with whom he negotiated directly and later advocated for better treatment of Native Americans. Spanish-American War, 1898, and later Kareen, 1895. President Grover Cleveland appointed Miles commanding general of the U.S. Army, the highest military position at the time. During the Spanish-American War, Puerto Rico campaign, Miles led the invasion of Puerto Rico, landing at Guanica on July 25, 1898, and swiftly occupying much of the island in a campaign dubbed Miles' Puerto Rican Picnic by the press. He also served as the first head of Puerto Rico's military government. Cuba and Army beef scandal. Miles commanded forces in Cuba, including at Siboney, and publicly criticized the Army's quartermaster for supplying rancid canned meat, sparking the Army beef scandal. Later years, promoted to lieutenant general. In 1900, Miles retired in 1903 at the mandatory age of 64, reportedly without honors from President Theodore Roosevelt, with whom he had clashed. In retirement, he offered his services during World War I, declined by President Woodrow Wilson, and supported General Billy Mitchell's advocacy for air power in 1923. Stirring controversy, Miles' military career was defined by his rapid rise, battlefield courage, and strategic acumen. His Medal of Honor, awarded for Chancellorsville, and his leadership in major conflicts cemented his reputation as a formidable commander. However, his role in the Indian Wars, particularly events like Wounded Knee, remains a point of contention. His contributions are commemorated by a bust in the Massachusetts state capitol, Miles Canyon in the Yukon, Fort Miles in Delaware, and portrayals in films like Geronimo, An American Legend, and Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, Nelson Appleton, Miles' military career during the American Civil War, 1861 to 1865, was a defining period that showcased his courage, leadership, and rapid rise through the ranks despite lacking formal military training. Below is a detailed account of his service during this conflict. Enlistment and early service enlistment with the outbreak of the Civil War in April 1861. Miles, a 22-year-old store clerk in Boston with self-taught military knowledge, enlisted on September 9, 1861, as a first lieutenant in the 22nd Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry, commanded by Henry Wilson, a prominent Massachusetts politician. Initial role. Miles served on the staff of Brigadier General Oliver O. Howard, gaining early exposure to military operations. His first significant combat experience came at the Battle of Seven Pines, May 31, 1862, where he was wounded, demonstrating his bravery under fire. Rapid promotions and key battles. Promotion to lieutenant colonel. In May 1862, Miles was promoted to lieutenant colonel of the 61st New York Infantry. At the Battle of Antietam, September 17, 1862, one of the bloodiest single days in American military history. He assumed command of the regiment after his superior was wounded, showcasing his ability to lead under pressure. His performance led to his promotion to colonel, Chancellorsville, and Medal of Honor. Miles fought in major engagements, including the Battle of Fredericksburg, December 1862, and the Battle of Chancellorsville, May 1863. At Chancellorsville, he was severely wounded in the neck and abdomen while holding an advanced position against repeated Confederate assaults. His gallantry in this battle earned him the Medal of Honor, awarded in 1892, with a citation recognizing his distinguished gallantry in rallying his men under intense enemy fire. Further, Campaigns. Miles continued to serve with distinction in the Wilderness, May 1864. Spotsylvania Courthouse, May 1864, and the Appomattox Campaign, April 1865, which culminated in the Confederate surrender at Appomattox Courthouse. He was wounded 4 times during the war, underscoring his frontline leadership and resilience. Commandant of Fort Monroe by October 1865, at the remarkably young age of 26. Miles was promoted to Major General Volunteers, a testament to his battlefield achievements and leadership. After the war, he was appointed Commandant of Fort Monroe, Virginia, where he oversaw the imprisonment of Confederate President Jefferson Davis. His decision to keep Davis in chains drew significant criticism, with accusations of harsh treatment. Miles defended his actions, arguing they were necessary for security. But the controversy highlighted his willingness to make tough decisions, even at the cost of public scrutiny. Transition to regular Army. Miles' stellar combat record ensured his retention in the post-war Army, which was significantly reduced in size in 1866. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more military and geopolitical updates.